Let's explore how Morawski could have saved this ball. First, we break down the overall situation. The thrower goes into a 1 versus 1 and does an over-the-head feint to the outside. The angle is quite small, and therefore Morawski only goes forward 1 step. But it is his technical choice which leads to the goal, as the thrower throws a central bounced shot through Morawski's legs. In my opinion, he should have considered two aspects which would have changed his technical decision. First, there is the aspect of analyzing the shooter and reading his shooting possibilities. Notice how his jump is extremely low with almost no time in the air. For most amateur goalkeepers, this is a clear sign that a low or bounced shot will occur, since due to the low jump it is very hard for the thrower to shoot high, which is why they take the easier shot low or bounced. Admittingly, on the pro level, this alone is not a strong enough argument to commit to a technique like this, which completely closes off the low and bounced shots, since the pivots and throwers in the pro leagues are good enough to shoot high even if they cannot jump off that good. The second aspect is the width of the shooting angle. As you can see, the thrower throws from a tight angle, which will result in a shooting angle that is smaller in the width than in the height in most situations. This just means that our technical decision should reflect this and focus more on the height of the angle rather than the width, which usually means that we also try to avoid big gaps in our technique, like the gap between the legs that Morawski had here. Combining everything I told you, I would have chosen this technique, which I like to call scissor. It checks most of the boxes Morawski had to consider. The technique doesn't commit too much to the bounced shot like the Swedish seat, which is needed on the pro level if they shot high despite the low jump. And yet the scissor also doesn't have a big gap like Morawski's technique. Obviously, it has its drawbacks, like, for example, the early commitment to a side or the lack of a precise movement to the ball, but that is the beauty of goalkeeping. Everyone can try and share their views on certain situations and find solutions. How would you have handled this situation? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.